So Shiba Inu finished yesterday on a green note, and it started on a green note yet again today. That's a very positive sign going through this very quiet weekend overall. But I think what's most important is this kind of quiet shuffle that's taking place behind the scenes that people might not be aware of. And I want to show this to you guys. And this is all taking place while we're actually having record liquidity injections happening in the crypto market. Does this mean that we're setting up for possibly a very exciting week ahead? Could this be where we decide to just have a little bit of fun again? So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. Now, understand I'm not saying that there are huge changes in terms of price from yesterday to today. We're up 0.6% on the daily at the time of filming this video. It's about 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Yesterday, we closed our daily candle up about 1%. That's very positive because the weekends tend to show some of the trends, especially when things are more quiet. You tend to not get this major levels of manipulation like you normally see. And apart from last weekend, the weekends have actually been pretty decent for SHIB. Obviously, last weekend we had such a great surge on that Friday. We closed up 8% that we were going to have some retracement, and then we obviously had our ugly Monday. So this is a very positive sign to see. And what we're seeing across the market is, again, things be pretty quiet. $110 billion in trading volume over the last 24 hours, which is almost a 50% drop from what we were seeing over the course of the week. $120 million in trading volume over the last 24 hours for Shiba Inu. So it's nice to see SHIB still above 100 million there while the market is cooling, and understand that this is a quiet weekend overall because it's a 3-day weekend. We have Labor Day tomorrow, no institutional money. It's going to be low volume once again. So hopefully we can continue to see this green just stack up over the course of a couple days and start to create a bit of a push as we get into the week. And what I will say is really helping us here is Ethereum is making a move kind of all by itself here. All right, it's up 2.5% today. It's above that 20-day moving average. It almost got down to a full reset on stochastic RSI. So we're seeing some very positive signs heading through the weekend. This all taking place while BTC dominance is just continuing to crater. That's a great sign here. In fact, we're very close to setting a lower low, which in fact may take place today. We'll have to watch and wait and see what happens. Again, it's still just bouncing right around this 100-week moving average. And if we can get an extended drop here, that's going to be huge for altcoins. A lot of confidence could potentially re-enter the space there. Now, what I do want to talk about is actually the last 3 days have been quietly very loud. And what I mean by that is Tether has actually injected $3 billion worth of USDT into the market just in the last 3 days alone. This is actually a record. So they have been just basically minting USDT, showing us that there are major liquidity injections happening in the market. So a lot of money right now is basically prepping to buy. That's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big sign for what we're seeing. But a few more things taking place behind the scenes. When we look at this open interest, that's the wrong chart. We look at open interest in terms of SHIB. We're back at about a 10% imbalance to the long side, and we've surged back up to $184 million worth of open interest for SHIB. So we've been quietly seeing shorts close their positions and longs open up new positions. It's a pretty darn big deal. In fact, over the last 24 hours, just take a look at how this has changed from yesterday. You guys remember the big imbalance we had to the long side in terms of leveraged liquidations. Now it's happening on the short side. Okay, I'm not saying it's happening close to price because nothing's really happened much over the last 12 hours, but $36,000 in shorts liquidated over that 24-hour period is showing us that SHIB is still kind of working on the positive side here. So this is all very promising as we get into this week, because remember, this week we have a lot of employment data. Okay, we have non-farm payrolls, we have unemployment. Friday is kind of the big day to watch as we move through this week, because again, this is the big thing that's going to be the driving force for potential rate cuts in the following week as we get into our FOMC meeting. So you could see the market start to get a little bit lively. I think that what we're going to see is it either be a very quiet week overall, or we're going to see some ascension. And that might seem like I'm just playing both sides of it, right? But you're either going to see everybody just watching and waiting to see how this data comes in, and then speculators may not move until we actually get into the following week in the FOMC meeting, or you could start to see things creep up in anticipation of this jobs report. We've seen it play both ways. I will say Friday is going to be very volatile nonetheless, but yeah, we have some good things that are coming down the pipeline, some things that we can definitely get excited about. And hopefully we just get this confidence in the retail part of the market that just pushes us over the top here. So maybe that's what creates this push again for SHIB to attack these moving averages. Maybe that's where we can finally get a breakout of this trend that's been building since all the way back here in the latter part of July. But that's all I got for you guys. Appreciate you as always. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.